So for me personally, I think that having a strong relationship between the student body and the union is very important. We are all representatives or represented by the union, and I think it's important for us to know what the union is doing as well as how they're utilizing all our fees to make our student experience the best possible. I plan on accomplishing this by having more open communication channels that are easy and accessible, such as online updates, having very or open forums throughout popular places such as the concourse or in popular places on the Brantford campus as well, and then also having a very strong online presence. Furthermore, I hope to communicate all of the efforts of the union and convey that to the students through a mobile application, which will be an information hub that all students can easily access.
Student outreach. Connecting with students is a huge issue. Students have lost that trust in the union. That's the truth about it. But to connect with them, we can't all do this all in just 1 year. But I want to change the strategy of connecting with students, because what I've observed being on the board and being in the ownership linkage committee is that we still targeting the same population who still vote. Like we have to target other populations. What do I want to do? We have to attend events of other clubs, diverse clubs from other cultures. I have to attend their events and also connect with them. Those people, they don't know anything about what's going on in the union. So that's how I want to reach them. And this TV is really important to connect with them. Thank you.
Student outreach is a big part of my platform. Specifically, it says on my platform, breaking down communication barriers and building relationships. So breaking down those barriers, I mean, it sounds general and really broad, but there are specific ways we can go about doing it. There needs to be a better relationship between the student union and students, and that students, individually, but as well in clubs and services and faculties as well. So for me, it's really about making sure that voices that wouldn't otherwise be heard are heard. So me going around individually and talking to people, making that connection with people, that's the way I've done it, because getting people involved in the process I think is important, especially if they wouldn't really be paying attention otherwise. And for me, a small step in the right direction, what I'd love to do is, if I'm fortunate enough to be the president, is bring my office down to the concourse once a week. Just to ensure, symbolically that I'm there. People can come up to me and ask what I'm working on, and just have the peace of mind of knowing that the president is actually on campus at work and working towards issues that the students care about.
I believe in the personal experience. To me, that means that you know who your president is when they're walking around. I love talking to students. I think that's a big part of the role as president and what I would love to see. I just love everyone in both campuses. And like I said earlier, I love tea, so I think it's simple as walking up to me, send me an email, shoot me a message, and let's just talk it out over some tea.
Whether you're a student who is very engaged and your most dedicated volunteer, or whether you're a student who gets up on Monday and goes to class all week, goes to Dallas on Friday night and maybe fills on Sunday, and yet doesn't engage in the Students' Union services, we need to be reaching out to you and knowing what your priorities are. My plan is to make the Students' Union a very student-driven organization. And by that, I don't mean student executive-driven, I mean student-driven. By being a student-driven organization, we can allow for students to shape the priorities and tell us what their concerns and what their issues are. My hope is to accomplish this by an entrance and an exit survey every year. At the beginning, we survey students, we find out what their issues are, where they want us to go. We set our targets for the year, we make our adjustments, we make changes, we prioritize based on that. We follow up at the end of the year with another survey to measure how well we've done, so then we can measure our success or our failure and influence future plans.